up guys, my name is AFC Adinho and welcome to another video. In this video I am going to battle for rank 1, because if I were to win this battle I would be rank 1. As you can see on the leaderboard, it would only take one game. Well, it isn't exactly right, because I played 2 games before the one you're about to see, but they were games against 2 people from Oneg, and those wins only gave me like 1 point or less each. That definitely wasn't worth counting. Before this battle I was probably around 1474 ish, so definitely 1 win would have given me rank 1, and it was pretty late that day, so the chances were very high that I was going to stay at rank 1. But definitely, I was definitely motivated to play this game, and I hope you guys will enjoy it as well. Before we start, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out. Subscribe to the channel as well, and yeah, leave a comment down after the game. Let me know what you thought about this battle, and also check out my Discord channel, guys, because I will let you guys know when I'm about to stream. And if you guys would like to see me stream this game, definitely join my Discord channel. But without further ado guys, let's hop right into the game. Yo, what is up guys, AFC Adinho here with a special battle, cause if I win this one I will be rank 1 on a monthly ladder for August, and it will most likely stay that way. I'm just gonna lead off with my Pokeone in this game, just because it has a pretty good matchup against everything. The unfortunate part is my opponent has a Chansey and a Mamoswine, which means my Raikou will most likely not be doing anything in this game. But we'll see. He leads off with his Zapdos, and I'm just gonna go for the Toxic here. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to switch in his Gliscor against a potential Ice Beam. So he goes into his Chansey. This might be the Stealth Rocker on his team. Yeah, I hit my Toxic, and this is actually really good, because it does percentage damage every turn. I'm gonna go into Gliscor. If he goes for a Rocks here, it's whatever. I could have gone Scissor, but by going into Gliscor here, I get my Poison Orb activated, and I can go for the knockoff here. And what is going to switch in on this knockoff? Because if he goes Gliscor, Gliscor loses his Toxic Orb, and he goes Azumarill, so I get to see whether it's Choice Bandit or Belly Drum, as he reveals Citrus Berries. So this is Belly Drum, which means he will most likely not have Waterfall, because Belly Drum usually takes the spot for Waterfall. It's usually Aqua Jet, Play Ralph, and Knockoff. So I can stay in with Gliscor. Gliscor can definitely take an unboosted Waterfall. I'm going for Facade as he goes for Knockoff, and unfortunately he crits me. And this crit is bad because an Aqua Jet crit could kill me from here. I'm gonna go into Garchomp. If he stays in, he's definitely gonna go for the Aqua Jet, which means he takes Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin. So he does go for Aqua Jet, and he takes a lot of damage. And now I do kind of want to go for the Rocks, but I also need my Garchomp for the Scissor. So I'm gonna Earthquake. I cannot. He switches out, but I cannot risk going for Stealth Rocks and him deciding to sack his Azumarill and going for Play Rough there. So now I'm just gonna go into my Scissor, and perhaps I can try to defog these Rocks away against this thing. He might go for Toxic. Could be a possibility. He actually went for U-turn. So pretty smart play. If I stayed in actually and went for Rocks there, that would have been so good for me. But he goes into his Zapdos, and yeah, Zapdos, not sure what he will do against this. I think going T-Tar here is definitely my best player. If he goes for Heat Wave, I get so much momentum here, because he doesn't switch really well into my Tyranitar. He does have the Gliscor, but even Gliscor is not a guaranteed switch for Tyranitar. He goes for Heat Wave here, and now I'm clicking that Ice Punch in case he does bring in the Gliscor. If I were him, I would sack the Azumarill just to check whether I have Ice Punch or not. Like, if he goes Gliscor here, it will be in such a bad position if I were to go for Ice Punch. He actually makes the Gliscor play, and yeah, now this thing is dead. The reason he should have gone Azumarill was because Azumarill is his belly drummer, but he couldn't belly drum anymore. He was low. So Azumarill was basically useless in this game. So it was better for him to just sack the Azumarill and then see whether I have Ice Punch or not. Yeah, he goes into his Mamoswine now. This thing is definitely a big threat to me. But I'll just go straight into Porygon 2. This thing could carry knockoff because his chances showed Stealth Rocks. I don't think Mamoswine has Stealth Rocks. It would be a waste if Mamoswine has Stealth Rocks as well. He goes for Earthquake. That's 30%, which means it's Life Orbed. And I'm just gonna go for the Recover here. Because I need my Porygon 2 at full HP. The problem with this team is I do have defensive answers against the Mamoswine, but I don't have offensive answers. Like my offensive Pokemon are not beating Mamoswine. Like my Garchomp is slower, my Raikou doesn't touch it, Tyranitar is slower. So it's only my Scizor and my Porygon 2 that can kind of deal with this. Yeah, I'll definitely go for Recover here. There's no point for me going for Toxic here. Because if he switches, then my Porygon 2 will stay low. And then I cannot switch into this anymore. He goes into his Azumarill. And I get off the Recover here. Now I will go into my... He could also go for the knockoff here. But I'll go Scizor anyway. I don't mind the leftovers too much. I just want these rocks gone. Because for knockoff it actually does a lot, but the second one will do much less. So I'm just gonna go for Defog here. I'm at 151. So if he wants to damage me, he has to click knockoff. But if I were him, I would just save this Azumarill for a sec against my T-Tar and just go Zapdos here. But perhaps he just wants my Defogger gone and goes for the attack. But I'm at 151. So let's see how much this knockoff does. 74, which means I live in next one. But I'll just go for Bullet Punch anyway. Like, I don't want him to crit me or something or get a high roll with knockoff. He decides to go for Zapdos now. But I got off my Defog. And I'm just gonna go straight into Tyranitar again. Like I can only bring in my Tyranitar against the Chansey and the Zapdos anyway, because it loses to Memo. Scizor is most likely offensive, I think, so also not a good idea. He makes a nice double into his Mamoswine, and now I have to switch into this thing again. I will still go into my he's definitely gonna Earthquake, but there's no point in going Gliscor and predict the Earthquake. I definitely don't need to Sex Scissor. My Porygon 2 is still pretty healthy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this thing has knockoff. But even then, I'll just go Porygon 2. As he makes a double into his Chansey, so he runs his rocks up, which is understandable. But now I traced the natural cure from this Chansey, so I'm actually not afraid of staying in here. I can just go for Toxic, as I unfortunately miss while he gets up his rocks. He will be forced to heal at one point, so I'm just gonna go for Toxic again. Because the reason I'm not afraid of staying in is because I have the natural cure, so if he Toxics or T-Waves my Porygon 2, it gets cured the moment I switch out. But he does go for Toxic, and now because he's pretty low, I say, pretty low, that's not the amount of health you want on your Chansey, I'm going into my Scizor, and I'm pretty sure he will go for the Soft Boil right there. I'm pretty sure he will. And even if he goes for Seismic Dose and kills my Scizor, he will be very low, and I'm pretty sure he will die to my Tyranitar next. Like, my Tyranitar can come in and press Crunch if he attacks now. So he does go for the Soft Boil, and now it does 12%. He cannot stay in here, so I'm just gonna go for a Roost. Well, he can stay in here, but I'll just Roost, because I can always get a Defog against his Chansey or against his Azumarill, so going for a Roost here, getting myself a bit more healthier would be better. as he actually stays in and goes for Seismic Toes, and Poison definitely wrecking up. Now I'm gonna go for the defog. I don't care too much about the health of my Scizor. Here goes Zapdos, and I defog the rocks away. And what I want to do now is actually go into my Garchomp. Like I said before that I needed it healthy, but I also want my rocks up so that I can deal with the Mamoswine. Basically getting chip off on Mamoswine is my way to win. Like I said, I don't have offensive answers against the thing. And that's the flaw of this team. He makes a switch into his Chansey, so I guess he wants his rocks up as well. So we'll just trade rocks. He could also go for Toxic here, but he decides to go for rocks. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go into my Gliscor. And if he stays in, I can actually go for Roost, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to stay in against my Gliscor. Like losing the Eviolite on his Chansey would be really bad for him. Obviously really good for me. But yeah, he goes for Seismic Dose, and I'm just gonna go for Roost. And I should pretty much be at full HP, close to full HP after the Roost and the Poison Heal. He does bring in his Azumarill and lives with 1%. Unfortunate. Because Stealth Rocks does 12.5%. He must have been at... But I can just stay in and go for knockoff, because worst thing you can do is Aqua Jet, but it only does 41%, and obviously I get Poison Heal recovery. But yeah, Stealth Rocks does 12.5%, and he was at 13. Sometimes it kills, sometimes it doesn't. Now Mamoswine does come in, and he switches into the Stealth Rocks, which is nice. Because like I said, chip is important. However, I cannot bring in my Porygon here because it gets 2-hit KO to Earthquake after Stealth Rock. So I'm gonna sack my Scizor here. Yeah. But he takes another. He's at 69, guys. 69. That's the number. Now I can bring in my Porygon 2 safely, and I can go for a recovery here. If I switched it in instead of Scizor, it would have died to the second Earthquake after Stealth Rocks. So he goes into his Zapdos here, and because I have rocks up, I'm pretty sure he wants to remove the rocks. But if this is his Defogger, then he will go for Defog here. So I'm gonna go for Toxic, and if I get the Sting poisoned, my Gliscor is easily gonna 1v1 this if he shows Defog. Because if he shows Defog and he already showed Heat Wave, that means he won't have Hidden Power Ice. So my Gliscor is gonna 1v1 that. Yeah, I do connect the Toxic. And now I'm actually gonna go into my T-Tar. As he makes the switch into Chansey. But he has to go for the Soft Boil here. He has to go for the Soft Boil here. Otherwise this Chansey gets 2-hit KO'd. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go into Gliscor. And he actually makes the decision to go for Stealth Rocks. Really ballsy play. I guess Mr. Frank is just confident in his ability. Let me click knockoff. But he's confident in his ability to dodge my Stone Edges. I mean, that's a skill as well, dodging Stone Edges. I wish I mastered that skill. But yeah, I'm just gonna go for the knockoff here. Because again, what on his team likes to switch into knockoff? If I knock off the Mamoswine, he won't do damage to my Porygon. And he cannot one shot my Gliscor with Ice Shard. And if he goes Zapdos, I'm just gonna 1v1 the Zapdos. And if he doesn't go for Soft Boil, this Chansey will stay low, which means he cannot switch into my T-Tar. Yeah, if he goes Scizor, I think his Scizor is an offensive Scizor. So, because his Zapdos show Defog, so let's see, he does go Scizor, and let's see what item he has. It does a lot, and he showed Choice Bands. So this means he doesn't have Swords Dance or Roost, which means my Gliscor can easily 1v1 this. I can switch into Garchomp here, but I think it's better to just get some extra chip off and go for knockoff. As he goes for U-turn. That's a lot. And he goes into his Mamoswine. That's fine, that's fine. Now I have my Porygon 2 at full HP, so I'm just gonna switch it in. Like, I could predict his Earthquake and stay in, but my Gliscor is gonna beat his Scizor, Zapdos, and Chansey, so it's not worth for me risking it to die there. As he makes a knockoff play. Yeah, I was pretty sure he wouldn't have Stealth Rocks on this thing, but I am gonna go for the recover. I should be able to live the Earthquake here. Should be able to live it. As he switches into his Scizor. And yeah, I have a Guard Jump, I have a Gliscor for this. I'm just going Guard Jump. Perhaps he makes a crazy play and go for Superpower, going for my Choke or something. Because I don't have the EV Light. And if he goes for U-turn, it's fine. Like, he takes Chip. If he actually goes for anything else but U-turn, I can get up my rocks. He goes for Pursuit, which means I get a free switch into my Guard Jump. And now I get up my rocks. He goes for Superpower. And he takes a lot of damage from Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin. And now I'm just gonna go for Earthquake. He might go for Bullet Punch here, yeah. But he still dies, so that's good. Scizor gone. And let's see what he does now. He could go into his Mamoswine again, but then he takes Rocks damage. He could go into his Chansey, going for Soft Boil. But that invites in my Gliscor. And he obviously could go into Zapdos trying to go for the Defog. And because I know he wants to go for the Defog, I can actually bring in my T-Tar here and claim a kill with Crunch. Because he cannot stall out my Crunches. Because he's poisoned. And Chansey is way too low to switch into Crunch. So he does go for Defog here. And I'm just gonna spam Crunch like I said. He switches out, Chansey comes in. And that's one of the more annoying Pokemon gone, because I click Crunch again. But yeah, now Mamoswine comes in. And because he didn't kill my Guard Jump, I can still sack it here. Like, I can keep my Tyranitar for the Zapdos and I can just sack my Guard Jump here. As he goes for Earthquake. So he takes another Life Orb hit and I'm pretty sure I win here. I will win here. Because I have enough Pokemon to sack his Life Orb. Because he has to use 2 hits on my Porygon too. I'm just gonna go for Recovery here. And my Raikou can also stall out some Life Orb turns with Substitute. He goes into his Zapdos. No big deal. Because I get my Porygon 2 at full HP. And I can just go into Gliscor. I don't need to go into T-Tar. Because if Gliscor cannot get burned by Heat Wave and it cannot get paralyzed by Discharge. And because he is poisoned, guys, I don't have to press Taunt because he's gonna die eventually. So I'm gonna spam Facade. I guess it could be bad if I press Taunt while he goes into Memo. This way he cannot switch in his Memo. He goes for Roost, but it won't matter to me. He's gonna die to Poison. So we're spamming Facade. And yeah, Gliscor will pull this one through. Facade should knock him out there, and I'll actually get pretty healthy here. I don't think I'll live Ice Shard. But that should be fine. I'll just click Facade here. Like I said, I have enough ways to stall out his Life Orb turns. Like, he cannot one-shot my Porygon 2 from full HP. And obviously my Raikou can use Substitute to stall out some Life Orb hits. So I'm just gonna stay in here as he makes a prediction going for Earthquake. And that should be the game. That should be the game. He knows it, he gives up. And that's basically it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to click on a notification bell as well, and leave a comment down below. Congratulate me on becoming rank 1 on the monthly August ladder. And also check out my Discord channel, link down below, if you want to know when I'm going to stream. And that's basically it, so peace out and I'll see you guys next time.